All right, so this is going to be how to add a payoff to the settlement statement. So this escrow agent got our payoff via our automation. So like if you ever see like some like subject lines like this, it came from our automation from our system to the lender. And she wants us to add the payoff to the settlement statement. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the file. There's a bar's last name, so we should be good. Everything's right. Okay, just waiting for the order to open. All right, once the order is open, I'm gonna go look for the payoff. It's gonna be in attachments, and normally just the payoff team adds it right here into the bottom of the screen. If it's not here, you can also look in the banking screen, but usually it's in attachments. So I'm gonna go ahead and open it. So if a payoff comes in from the offshore team, typically the offshore team will add the information into our contacts. If, say, a customer sends us a payoff, then we will have to add it, but we always have to double check it anyways. So one thing that I personally do is, because you can't click on anything or highlight anything, I go over here into my little magnifying glass. I type in OCR, recognize text. I click on it and it says, and it comes down over here, recognize text. So what this is going to do is it's going to go through the whole PDF document and make it so that everything is selectable. Just be careful that when you do this, that it's not a really large document. Like it's not like 20, 30, 40 pages. So I'm going to go ahead and click on, and sometimes if the button goes away, it's right here, enhance scanned file. So I'm going to go ahead and hit enhanced. You'll see it's doing its thing. It's only 3 pages, so it happens pretty quickly. Now I'm able to highlight items. All right, so I'm going to go here to contacts under payoffs. So like here, the payoff team did not input the payoff, so I'm going to have to do it. Mr. Cooper. And it'll be easier for you because you have 2 screens, so that you could put the payoff on one screen and this Softpro on the other. Anytime we're paying off a major lender, we have to use this lookup code, because our banking department has verified all the wire instructions. So anytime we add a payoff lender, we have to use these lookup codes. Try to use the lookup codes as much as possible, even for like the smaller lenders, because all this information has already been verified. So again, I just hit the lookup code here. I just look up Mr. Cooper. If I type in Mr. Cooper, it might not come in. So just use something that's a little bit more unique. Okay, here's the only one that comes in. So I'm going to click on it, and I can look at my payoff here to verify that it is the correct one. Lake Vista 4, Lake Vista 4. And the wire instructions, I gotta plug in the wire instructions, so they're going to be down here, and you can see that some of the information is already filled out, which is a good thing. If some of the information is not filled out, we have to manually verify the wire instructions. So we have to call the payoff lender to verify all the information. I'll go more into that later. So reference number, loan number. What I do is the borrower's last name and also the street address. So I also take all this information and list it under special instructions, and you also have to list the escrow number as well. So again, all the information, again, if you've used up the lookup code, all this information shall automatically be plugged in. You just have to just double check to make sure it's the correct lender. Your loan number, borrower's last name, and the property address. I just put the street number under reference. Your wire information, make sure that your account number is in there or that it matches. Then your loan number, borrower's name, property address, and then the escrow number. So now that I have the payoff lender's information in here, I go to section 3 of the CD. You'll notice that the payoff lender information is already in here because by default our system automatically lists the payoff lender as the first line item. And in this case scenario, it looks like the offshore team did input the payoff information, but they failed to add the contact. So I'll just verify that the payoff information is accurate. Okay, so it looks correct. And I also will change this here to when the payoff expires, 10/4. 10/4 is when it expires. Not 9/4, 10/4. The reason that you, and then I'll also put in the per diem, 87. Oops. Okay, so I have these two figures. And the reason that this is important is that when we start putting dates, when our, and I'm gonna actually put 4 days of extra days. So the reason that we put in these dates here is that when we start putting in the settlement dates, our system will automatically adjust the payoffs based off the whatever you list on the settlement date. So like right here, this is early in the transaction, so we're not sure when the settlement date is going to be. But let's say that we had a CD and the CD said that, hey, our funding date's going to be, tomorrow, and you list it in the system as tomorrow, it will automatically update your payoff figures to list the payoff good through tomorrow, and then add an extra 4 days. So down the line, when someone goes over here and goes, oh, hey, the settlement date is, tomorrow. No, that's not tomorrow. Let's say Monday. So we're signing on Monday and the loan will be funding on the 13th. Here on the payoff screen, it'll automatically adjust your payoff based off, hey, loan funding on the 13th plus the 4 extra day pad, so that we don't have to manually calculate it. So here you'll see that the interest was adjusted based off of that. So it's really kind of cool because if your dates change, your payoff will automatically change. It will automatically add interest, subtract interest based off of when your funding date. So the most important thing though is making sure that your payoff figures match the payoff from the get-go, and the dates that you input match, so that when the dates are added for the funding dates, that they all automatically change and it's going to be accurate. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and remove this because I didn't have a funding date, and I'll just leave those 4 days in there. So again, the agent just wanted a settlement statement with the payoff, so I'm going to go over here and pull the settlement statement in. I'm going to do that one more time because you know what, I did that pretty quickly. So all All right, so let me do that one more time. So I go to Documents, and you want to look up Alta. Alta buyer. And it's down right here. You can also add it to your favorites by clicking on this Add to Favorites. And you just drag it over. And you go to Dispersed, Publish, Distribute. Hit OK. This screen pops up. Hit OK. And now when you go back to your order in attachments, you'll see that your settlement statement is, there's no date on this one because I haven't saved it. But if you double click on it, you'll see that the payoff is now in there. And now you can send that to the agent. Again, the payoff is extended very far, but we won't know. We will not be able to backdate any interest until they tell us, hey, the settlement date is going to be this. You know, let's say, oh, hey, the signing is going to be on the 9th. Then we could plug in the date so that it backs out some of the interest. So hopefully that lets you know. I'm going to go ahead and not save this. I'm going to put this back to the way it was. And you could try doing it yourself.